It was Thanksgiving morning when I stood outside my grandmother's house holding a homemade pecan pie. I had spent half the night baking it because it was her favorite. Before ringing the bell, I looked at my reflection in the glass and whispered the same words I told myself every holiday. Maybe this year will be different. I had no idea that before dessert was served, my grandmother would humiliate me in front of my entire family. The front door open. "There you are," Aunt Linda said without smiling. "We thought you weren't coming." I almost didn't. I joked that she simply stepped aside and let me in. Inside, everything looked perfect. The smell of turkey filled the house. Football played on television. My cousins laughed while my uncles argued about politics to everyone else. It looked like a happy family to me. It felt like another trial where I had already been declared guilty every Thanksgiving. Followed the same pattern. Someone asked about my career. Someone compared me to my cousin Daniel. Then my grandmother reminded everyone that I was the family's disappointment. She called me over and glanced at the pie. "Oh, homemade," she said. She placed it beside the store-bought desserts instead of with them. A small gesture, but one I understood well. When it was time for family photos, things became worse. The photographer began arranging everyone before he could decide where I should stand. Grandma spoke. "Emily can stand on the end, always." The end. Daniel kindly offered me a place beside him. Grandma shook her head. "No, we want the successful grandchildren together." The room became silent. No one defended me. The picture was taken. Another reminder that I didn't belong. At dinner, I chose a seat near the end of the table, helping to avoid attention. That hope lasted only a few minutes. "So, Emily," my uncle asked, "what are you doing these days?" "I own a consulting business," I replied. Grandma smiled. "One of those little online hobbies." A few relatives laughed. "No," I answered calmly. "It's a real business. And does it actually make money?" More laughter. "I'd rather not discuss finances." She leaned back. "I understand. It's embarrassing when things don't work out." Everyone assumed my silence meant failure. I let them believe it. Years earlier, I had left my corporate job after constantly being overlooked for promotions. My family called me irresponsible. Grandma said I would come crawling back. Instead, I started my own consulting company. The first year was incredibly difficult. I worked 16-hour days. I struggled to pay bills. Sometimes I survived on instant noodles just to save money. No one in my family offered help. Instead, they kept asking when I would get a real job. Eventually, I stopped updating them while they believed I was failing. My company quietly grew. One client became 5 became 20. Soon I had employees in several states, owned my house outright, and built a successful business. I never told my family. I wanted peace, not praise. After dinner, I stepped onto the back porch. Daniel joined me. "You okay?" he asked. "You already know the answer." He sighed. "You know, Grandma keeps bragging about me because she thinks I'm successful. I assumed you were." He shook his head. "My business has been struggling for 2 years. I stared at him. "She needs one successful grandchild and one failure," he said quietly. That sentence explained everything. As Daniel went back inside, I remained outside. The kitchen window was slightly open. I wasn't trying to listen, but I heard Grandma talking. "Emily will probably ask for money someday." Everyone laughed. Then she said something that froze me. "When I rewrite my will next month, she's getting almost nothing."